welcome to New Wine Cafe. My name is James Collier. Today we're going to teach on why tongues, and I'm going to hit some key points right here to start with. The first point that I would like to make is that when you speak in tongues, that you are edifying yourself and that you are building yourself up. It is essential that we learn, in especially these last days, how to build ourselves up in God, how to edify ourselves in God, because we may not always have good Christian support around us to do those things. So 1 Corinthians 14:4 says, "He that speaks in an unknown tongue edifies himself." And Jude verse 20 says, "But you, beloved, build up yourselves on your most holy faith, praying in the Holy Ghost." So the first key that I want to teach you is that when you pray in tongues, when you speak tongues, you're edifying yourself. The next point would be that he that speaks in an unknown tongue speaks not unto men, but he speaks unto God. So that's Corinthians 14:2. He that speaks in an unknown tongue speaks not unto men, but unto God, for no man understands him. Howbeit in the Spirit he speaks mysteries. So when you're praying in an unknown tongue, when you're praying in tongues, when you're speaking in tongues, you are communicating with God. You are talking to God. You are speaking mysteries, or a better interpretation would be is hidden wisdom. It has a lot to do with confession. It has a lot to do with speaking the will of God, praying the will of God. So that takes us to the next point. When we're praying, we're praying in the Spirit. We're praying in tongues. 1 Corinthians 14:14 and verse 15, it says, For if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prays, but my understanding is unfruitful. Verse 15, what is it then? I will pray in the Spirit, and I will pray with the understanding also. And then it goes on and says, I will sing in the Spirit, and I will sing with the understanding also. So, but anyways, you pray in the Spirit. You may not always understand. You may not always know what you're praying. But you pray in the Spirit. It's okay. You're building yourself up. You're speaking mysteries. You're speaking unto God, hidden wisdom unto God. You are in communication. The Spirit of adoption is crying, Abba, Father. That takes us on to Romans chapter 8, verse 26. It says, likewise, the Spirit also helps our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. So when you're speaking in tongues, or when you're praying in the Spirit, and it don't always have to be a perfect dialect, because it says with groanings. I know when spirit of intercession comes on people, they may groan, they may weep and wail. But the idea is that your spirit, the deep calling unto the deep, your spirit praying the will of God, your spirit calling on God the Father, praying the will. Jesus said that when you pray, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So the spirit of intercession has come that you might pray the will of God into a situation. Which is Romans chapter 8, verse 27. It says, and he that searches the hearts knows what is the mind of the Spirit, because he makes intercession for the saints according to the will of God. So we find that when we're praying in tongues, when we're speaking in tongues, most of the time we are praying unto God. Most of the time when you're praying, you hear people speaking in tongues, they are praying unto God. They are releasing worship unto God. They're asking the will of God. It's called intercessory prayer. It's called, but we are praying. That is one of the diverse gifts of tongues. There's diverse gifts and diverse operations of tongues. Now that's just one, prayer, your prayer language. There's many more, but that's what that's what I'm trying to get across to you today in this 5-minute video. I have a 70-minute CD that teaches on why tongues. I've tried to condense just a little taste of it in 5 minutes on this video, but there's 70 minutes of teaching along those lines on this. Over 35 verses about the gift of tongues. I would like to thank you for joining me in New Wine Cafe.